everybody. Welcome to You, Miranda, a place where in this me generation, you are given a little. Alright, today I am modding this Power Mac G5 enclosure into a badass grill. And when I'm done, I'm going to have the coolest grill on the block. Oh yeah. Alright, first step, all we need is this right here. I'm going to open up the side panel and take out the insides. Now some of the parts in there may require some elbow grease, some manhandling, but I'm just going to get right down and dirty with it because I don't get any of these parts later on. And if you need some extra help, there's a few links in the description. Let's get started. Alright, once you get down into the enclosure, you're going to have some screws here attached to the side panel. Just use a pair of pliers or a vice grip, latch on, and then the little elbow grease pops up just like that. Instead of taking off the entire side panel attachment, we're just going to leave it on and then cut through this part here. Alright, as soon as you get the side panel latch off, I am going to attack these pieces here. We need to do some little house cleaning here. So we're going to take off pieces that are sticking out. We're going to take off the plastic pieces. So we're just going to remove the internal hard drive casing here. Both sides. We're just going to roll off the end of the housing there. Like I said, don't be afraid to get dirty with it. So the power button, not so easy to pull from the other side. So grab your nearest tool, go around, and just punch it out from the front. Ta-da! Alright, other side. Got to pull the plastic off the port section next to the fans. Got a little start there. Oh, almost. Well, as I said, gotta get dirty with it. Alright, so I'm going to clean up what I like to call the toaster of the inside. Just going to go up to the top and get a good grip in there. There we go. Go down to the bottom. Alright, now that we've got the insides cleaned out, it's time to measure where the bolts are going to go for the racks. First rack where the coals will go, and the second rack where you do your grilling. First level, thankfully, we already have some screw holes here. So I'm going to drill through these bottom screw holes for the bottom level of the grating. Luckily, aluminum is super soft, goes super fast. So now that I've drilled through this side, I've used my compass to drill through the other side. And I have already marked it off here and here. So in order for the drill bit not to slide, I'm going to make a little indentation where I made my mark. Alright, so I screwed in the bolts, all four sides of where I just drilled in. Wash on both sides to make sure it's secure, and I kind of had to modify that side to make sure it fit in. But I am ready to put in the lower drill. So measured out about 3 inches from the washer of the lower grill. 3 inches is where we're going to make the mark for the upper grill. It's time to work on the top. So, for the top of the grill, we're actually going to use the top of the side panel, connect it via hinges, which I've already put in place here, to screw in here in a second. This will go here like this, and I'm actually going to use the top of the power supply as a little bit of a bumper for the top of the grill. So this part here will cut off about there, put it about here, and those pieces will go together. So I have my hinges all measured out and secured down with just your basic nuts and bolts, which you can get at the hardware store. That's where I got mine. And while I was there, I brought my side panel and also had them cut it down on here so that it would actually fit the hinges. So those are nice and secure. Close it. And here we have a piece of the power supply scrap metal, which I cut down so that it could be the bumper for when the lid is coming up, and I just secured it down with more, your basic nuts and bolts. Also, I got a handle from the barbecue store and secured that here on top. And here I have my full circle latches, full turn latches there. And that way, if you want to, store your grill upright when you're not using it, have those latches there so that your top will stay closed. How ingenious. Now, where did the other piece of the power supply scrap metal go? Oh, I'll tell you where. I cut it down, and then I secured it on the side here. I needed something to cover up these fan holes and my toaster hole, and that fit perfectly. And the pièce de résistance, our barbecue thermometer, actual barbecue thermometer, got it at the barbecue store, goes up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit, gonna keep my meat all nice and tender. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you mod a PowerMac G5 enclosure into a badass grill. Now, why did I choose the G5? Well, the G5 enclosure is made of anodized aluminum, which is the same thing that frying pans are made out of. You see, the aluminum is oxidized, giving it a higher melting point, which means it's more heat resistant. It also means that it is one piece of aluminum and not a bunch of different layers, so you don't have to risk anything flaking off into your food. So many reasons to make a G5 enclosure into a badass grill. All right, I'm hungry. Let's go barbecue. And that, my friends, is how the grilling is done.
E-Bass.